Hello, this is Brett Larson, and this is part one of my presentation on curriculum compacting. In part two, I will talk about how I've done curriculum compacting in the past and how I plan to use it in the future. Um, I've also included a handout that I put together that gives a really basic overview of compacting if you're interested in trying it in the future. So we'll start here with what is curriculum compacting. According to the National Association for Gifted Children website, curriculum compacting is a technique for differentiating instruction that allows teachers to make adjustments to curriculum for students who have already mastered the material to be learned, replacing content students know with new content, enrichment options, or other activities. Um, Another definition I really liked was from Karen Rogers in Reforming Gifted Education. She defined it as streamlining or shortening the regular school curriculum in a specific subject area by pre-assessing the gifted child to discover what they've already mastered, and then replacing it learning experiences or curricula that are new or more appropriate. So simply put, compacting is replacing what a student already knows in a subject area with curricula that is new or more appropriate. It allows students to reduce the number of times they repeat or review information they already know. And I took this quote from Reese and Renzulli. I really liked it. It says, curriculum compacting may be thought of as organized common sense. So next we'll talk about how teachers compact the curriculum. And there's basically three steps to this. The first step, you have to determine targets or essential information that students are to learn, which is, I hope, something that all teachers are doing already. So this step shouldn't add any extra work for the teacher. Second, you need to pre-assess to see how much essential information has already been mastered. Just a note here, it does not have to be a traditional pen and paper assessment. You have multiple options of what you can do for a pre-assessment. You can have an informal discussion with the student, have the child brainstorm what they already know about the topic, review how the child did when working previously with the subject matter. You can interview the child. You can observe the child perform a task related to the topic. So you have a lot of options there for how you do your pre-assessment. Then the last step after the pre-assessment, you look at where a child has shown mastery, and then a plan must be made to determine how gaps will be filled and what will be done with the time gained. From my experience, the easiest way to fill the gaps is to just have the student participate in the general education class where instruction takes place on that area that the student hasn't yet mastered. And then the time gained may be used for more advanced content instruction or to participate in enrichment activities. So next we'll look at who should participate in compacted curriculum. I pulled from Reforming Gifted Ed by Karen Rogers. I pulled the 4 areas that she talked about, and then like the characteristics that you should look for. So first is in cognitive function. The student should be achieving at a substantially higher level than most classmates. Obviously, it would have to be a student that's mastered a lot of the curriculum, so of course they're going to be advanced. Personal characteristics, they demonstrate motivation to learn, persistence, and independence. The reasons for that is most of the work they do will be independent, so they have to be motivated to do the work. Learning preferences, they exhibit willingness to work in small groups or in small groups on self-instructional tasks. So again, they really kind of working on their own or with other in small groups. And last, interests, they demonstrate interest in compacted area and boredom with routine learning. Just kind of 2 notes here. It is possible to have too much compacting. It isn't something you want to do with every subject all day, every day. Because students can become stressed at the fast pace of learning, and they're not really given any time to kind of just sit back and digest what they're learning. One other note, if you have students who lack social skills, you might might be a little bit worried about putting them in compacting because they may miss out on valuable social interactions. But if that is the case, it's very important that they are placed with other students of high ability to circumvent the loss of missed social time. So next we'll talk about why compacting is valuable. So according to the NAGC website, elementary teachers can eliminate 24% up to 70% of high ability students' curriculum by compacting without any negative effect on test scores or performance. In fact, curriculum compacting can have a positive effect on students' performance because many talented students receive little differentiation of instruction from their peers. They spend a great deal of time in school doing work that they have already mastered. Curriculum compacting allows these students to avoid having to relearn material that they already know. So we'll look at the benefits of compacting. First, the academic benefits. So according to the NAGC website, researchers have reported that when classroom teachers eliminated between 40% to 50% of previously mastered regular curriculum for high ability students, they could not find any difference between the work that the compact students did and the work that was done in the regular classroom. And according to an analysis of research done by Rogers, students can achieve almost an additional year's growth with the use of compacting. So in addition to the 1 year's growth they would normally get, they get another year from compacting. And the last benefit, it reduces the number of times a child would repeat material they already know. This time can be used to explore new curriculum. Last, we'll look at the social and emotional benefits of compacting. So research has shown that when students have to relearn curriculum they already know, it can lead to frustration, boredom, and underachievement. I picked out a quote from Ruff that I think that really kind of hit the nail on the head. It said, families initially expect that the school will recognize their child's abilities and address them appropriately. They are soon disappointed, frustrated, and sometimes even furious. And when we read from Delise, the 8 Gripes of Gifted Kids, gripe number 4 was the stuff we do in school is too easy and it's boring. So I do not see curriculum compacting as an answer to eliminating all the problems that gifted students experience in school. It has been shown to have a positive academic effect on students' achievement, and it has a positive effect on students' social and emotional well-being because students are not forced to relearn curriculum that they already know. Thank you for listening. In part 2, I will talk about what I have done in the past, my personal experiences with compacted curriculum, and some things that I want to do in the future with it. Thank you.